Let's say you thought Plants vs. Zombies was a cool idea, but you were like, I don't know about all these plants. Maybe you're some kind of anti-plantite. In which case, you're a real prejudiced bastard, and this is a game for you. It's Plants vs. Zombies, hold the lettuce. It's Forgotten Legions for the Nintendo DSi. This game was actually released to DSiWare in 2013, which is kind of weird, given that the 3DS eShop has completely supplanted the DSi service. Nonetheless, it's nice to see the platform still getting some games. Forgotten Legions comes from the same team that did California Super Sports, another DSiWare game released in 2013. Thankfully, this one's much better.
Everything I did was for the greater good.
Forgotten Legions refers to itself as a strategy game. While that's true in a descriptive sense, Plants vs. Zombies really is the more reflective comparison. You have an entire undead army at your command. Skeletons, monsters, evil priests, dead chicks with surprisingly intact figures. Must be great plastic surgeons in the afterlife. Anyway, each of your different units has a different ability. Skeletons throw hatchets, these beasts just claw the shit out of people, and the idea is to just survive. The levels move forward automatically, with enemies positioned across 5 lanes. And again, if you've played Plants vs. Zombies, this whole concept should be pretty familiar. Of course, in this case, you're on offense, as opposed to defense. And you don't taste better with ranch this time. But the big difference between the two games is in the requirement for placing your units. Forgotten Legions turns that into this simple waiting game. Each unit recharges. You can't do anything until they're fully charged. Plants vs. Zombies had a similar approach, but it also included some skill. You had to wait, but you also had to be storing sunlight to buy those units. So, yeah, there was a lot to do during the wait. That's less the case in Forgotten Legions. Of course, to its credit, this game also requires control over your units after you place them. You might have to move certain units up or down a lane, or even further back in the line. That's a good idea, and a great twist on the Plants vs. Zombies concept. The only problem is, actually doing it. See, the menu with those controls is really tiny, which makes using them a bit difficult. And since the game doesn't stop for you to leave those marks, well, a lot of the times you leave them too late. And your units just walk right by them. Really, the whole process is just a bit clunky. And as I was playing, I kept thinking, wait, I have a stylus. Why can't I just, drag these guys around? I mean, that would have been a lot easier than Forgotten Legion's tiny little menu wheel. So, the gameplay has its quirks. It's not very content-rich either. At times it can be a little boring, but when it works, this is actually a fun little spin on a modern classic. It's an interesting game, a seriously flawed game, but a decent game all the same. If you like Plants vs. Zombies, check out Forgotten Legions. Freaking skeletons versus fat guys.